2011X and how he suffers from the slasher problem. Today's PowerPoint, I'll be going over 2011X and how he struggles with a beginner trap I like to call the slasher problem. It's based off slasher from Forsaken, and yeah. Now, before we start, I would kindly ask for you to like and subscribe, please. That's about it. You want to see X tell you to do it too? I think he's there in the corner. I don't know. Anyways, thank you. Bye. Now, to preface, what is the slasher problem? The Jason problem is when a character that is too complex is chosen to be the starter killer, because starter killers are meant to ease you into killer gameplay. But the issue with people like 2011X and Slasher from Forsaken is that they take way too much skill to be used effectively. Now, why did I call this the Slasher problem? Because Slasher is the first character that came to my mind when I did this. How does this negatively impact 2011X? It makes it so that no one wants to ever play as him. Because, I mean, who wants to play as somebody that takes this much skill just to even get a single kill? Normally, I would have like ideas to fix this, but I'm actually tapped out for X. The only thing that can fix X is his rework, because of the fact that he's just too reliant on rage. It's the honest truth. He's way too reliant on rage. They're similar to Slasher from Forsaken. They use the fact that he's iconic over the fact that his gameplay is way too hard for a beginner to realistically catch on to. And that's the reason I say he suffers a lot, and why most people have EXE chance off. And now I have to play EXE 11 games in a row because I'm not a bitch and I don't want my chance off because I want to look like a bitch. Next slide. How do I say this without sounding rude? This is not a guide. This is not a guide. I'm not going to tell you how to play the game. So if you want to learn how to play 2011X, don't bother. You can leave now. Now, back to the actual overview. God over here has only one passive and 3 moves. He has a force ability, but it's an extension of his passive. He's due for a rework in after 0.3 in a 0.3 hotfix, but I will still be going rough on him as I have with all the characters that are due for reworks. Which, now that I think about it, my last 3 videos have all been characters that are due for reworks. Oh, interesting. Passive. X has a passive and it's called Short Temper. The devs low-key realized that X was a punching bag. I don't know what else to say. They realized that you can deadass just wail on X, stun him carelessly, and there's nothing he can do because of how bad he is normally. Bad in quotation. Every time X gets stunned, his rage meter will go up. When he reaches full, he gains access to rage mode. It fills up depending on the harshness of the stun. So for example, an Amy full card or an Eggman counter will only do like a 1/10 of the bar, maybe a 1/5. I'm not really sure. He looks like a 1/5 of the bar to me. And a Metal Sonic stun on the other hand would do a whole 1/3 of the bar. Tails only does 25%. Even though Tails has longer stun than Metal, that's because of his secondary property that I mentioned in his video that you should totally watch. Every time you stun him, it will trigger his rage steam, and it gets louder the closer he is to rage. When he finally gets it, you will hear a ding like the one you saw when X showed up on the PowerPoint just now.
Found you.
These are all of X's stats. X's first ability is called Invisibility. It is his most spammable ability and his easiest and best method of tracking survivors. 2011X will go invisible and intangible, only to stuns by the way. In this state you can hear his Roblox footsteps, so it's best to play with your sound fully up. While invisible, you can see survivors through walls and from far away as they will become red. I know I wrote highlighted in red, and that is partially true, but their body will be red, even if you're close. If you get close enough, their names will show up at the bottom of your screen, labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 7. If you click on any of their names, you will automatically teleport to them. Click tap no matter what device, you will automatically teleport behind them, putting it on a longer cooldown. Which is bad because invisibility is your most consistent way to track survivors and avoid stuns. So it's almost useless to do that. While you're invisible, you gain faster increased speed and lower gravity, allowing you to do spring tags that allow you to go on a spring, fly high into the air and airstrike. His next ability is called Charge. X will flash red 3 times before he flies at the enemy. He will automatically fly the moment the third flash comes. Note, this actually gives you omnidirectional movement. I had a clip but I deleted it of a beginner who was flying at me and he was just like hugging the ground with it. I don't know why. I don't know why new players all think that Charge is a ground move. They all think that for some reason. I don't know why. If you land Charge, it will start to choke your target at a rate of 2 HP every second. It will automatically kill your target when they fall to or below 15 HP. Do note that the threshold was originally 25 HP, but then it was nerfed to 20 HP, then it was nerfed again to 15, because people kept complaining about it. X's kill animation is actually a completely separate attack from Charge. Do note that. So if you're Cream, you can push X away from your teammate when he's about to do the last hit, and it will actually allow them to dodge it actually. And if you're Eggman, you can counter it actually. This has been a tech that people have known for a while. I just felt I noted it. Dodge Trickery. X will teleport to a random survivor and he will send a clone to another random survivor. Though for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason he sends 3 clones. I don't know if that's a bug for me, but every time I play with my friends they say they also see clones. I don't know why. The original X can be told apart because his chase theme will play and the clone doesn't do any damage, it just distorts your screen. If you miss the minigame, he will attack you and distort your screen. I forgot to put that there. He will distort your screen, note that. For 2 seconds after the teleport, you can't attack them, but the survivor also can't stun you either. Now, you can dodge these via orange is to move, blue is to stay still, distorted means don't move, and black means jump.
Ready or not, here I come!
Those were his rage stats. Rage is X's crutch, and those numbers you saw me put on his rage stats are all estimated values, so do not take them to heart. I had more exact numbers, but I felt they didn't fit in place, so I just ended up estimating them to like 1.5, 1.75. So don't take them by heart and don't think I'm speaking gospel with this. Rage mode gives a transformation. It's an extension of his short temper passive. His temper has finally reached its limit from being stunned so much, and now he gets angry. During Rage, I theorize his speed is increased by roughly 1.75 times. His jump height is increased to about 1.5 its original value. His damage, now this is guaranteed, is increased to 50 per M1. It originally was 63, but the devs nerfed it back to 50. This is X's win con. If X doesn't get Rage mode, there's a high chance he doesn't win. Now see, because I'm a X main, forced X main, because people are too much of bitches to play X. I know that I have won entire games without popping rage, and every X main has done that. They've won games without needing to pop rage. But we can't ignore the fact that rage is actively X's crutch and it is his win con. And that is people's main issues with X, is that he relies on this win con too much. When X transforms, all exit rings automatically close, which leads to a funny glitch on YCR that X can actually get sealed. I will flash a picture of a game that happened to me, where the X popped the rage and he deadass got sealed away. X got sealed and locked in the time. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. He gains high stun resistance in rage, but it will degrade over time. Rage lasts exactly 1 minute and 36 seconds. Why that time was picked, I have no idea. X will receive a marker for every time he hits the survivor, uses invisibility, but it will slow him down and doesn't make him intangible. And whenever he kills a survivor, and the moment he transforms. Do note, when I say every time he hits a survivor, I don't mean like every time he lands charge. I mean every time he lands an M1. All survivors will be highlighted through walls. I think I forgot to mention, but I know it's in the PowerPoint, his stun resistance will degrade over time and with every stun he takes, which causes a glitch that allows X's, because every executioner has a stun resistance passive that prevents them from being stunned longer than 12 seconds, or else you'd be seeing 21-second stun combos. Because I've calculated Metal X Tails X Sonic X Knuckles stun, and it's actually 21 seconds if done right. So I've calculated this. It prevents him from being stun locked, but the issue is it degrades over time, and for some reason when he enters rage, it removes that original stun resistance and replaces it with his current one. So his resistance will actually degrade over time and with every stun, and if you stun him enough, he'll actually go into negative resistance, making every stun last longer on him for some reason. Tips and tricks for playing X. One tip is don't use the teleport on invisibility. Don't use invisibility's teleport, as it is useless, and also don't use God's trickery to scout or teleport to a random survivor unless you completely lost every survivor. Invisibility will always be the better option. The only issue with invisibility is that you require map knowledge, I mean, to use it properly, and that is very bad for a lot of new players. A trick with X is don't use charge for cheap damage, as you can be stunned out of it when you use it on a survivor. So it's not a good form of cheap damage. Rather use it as a finisher to kill off survivors. Though this is a tech that every X player knows, because we've been forced to play him because y'all are too much of bitches. I'm actually getting a little heated. Is X balanced from the EXE's perspective? I actually will argue that he is a good killer. The issue is that he's a starter killer. Similar to Jason from Forsaken, the issue is that the skill floor for the character is so high that people tend to underestimate them because they can't play them themselves. They can't play the character themselves. So they will just underestimate the character's value. Because I've seen good X players. Because I don't know if you know this, but in my free time I watch outcome memory YouTubers do team wipes so that I can get the knowledge from that. So yes, I have seen good X players absolutely do team wipes, like Bunny the Hutt and Adventurer. I've seen good players. X is a good killer. I'm tired of hearing people diss my GOAT 2011X, even though he's not my favorite EXE, which is 2017, as you can tell from my profile picture. Anyways, yeah, X is a good killer, I will say. My issue is that he's too reliant on rage and he's too complex. They chose his status as an icon over the fact that he is not a good killer for a beginner, and he suffers from it because a lot of the people who complain that X is bad are all new to the game in general, so it will make sense. Now, I'm not throwing shade at them. I'm just saying you're new to the game, so you wouldn't understand that much stuff. And old players that do say X is bad are just survivor mains. And I hate survivor main. Unless you have like an actual good reason to be a survivor main, I actually just hate you for making me like. There's this one time I played X 5 times in a row, kept getting punching bag. This was before I knew any X text, and I was still new to the game, even though I played the game on release. So I don't know how that happens, but I was still new to the game. I didn't know any text. I kept getting body bagged, and I just left the server. I don't leave mid game though, cause I'm not a bitch. Yeah, cause I was tired of being the punching bag. I couldn't handle it. Is he balanced from the survivor's perspective? An inexperienced X is just a bully session. Like I've seen it happen myself. These inexperienced X's genuinely don't know what they're doing. And it's sad because he's meant to ease you into killer gameplay, but if anything, he just feels more like a punching bag for the survivors. An experienced X, on the other hand, is actually like hell on earth. Like if you're playing against an experienced X, you're not gonna win. I don't think you're ever gonna win that. If you're playing against an X that's actually like good enough at the game, I'm sorry to break it to you, I don't think you're gonna win. Like, I've lost to a lot of good X's. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those salty survivors who loses to X's and starts complaining, because, I don't know, I saw this one outcome warrior Sonic who kept complaining. I was like, yo, you're too good. You're making the game unfun for everyone else. Like, how is he making the game unfun for everybody else? Just say you're bad at the game, even though you had, like, how are you saying he making the game worse when you have outcome warrior? Think of all the like beginner players that you have bullied, and you're blaming him for bullying you, or not even bullying, just being good at X. The guy was genuinely confused. So after the game and everyone has finished insulting him, I just like tried my best to cheer him up, because I love seeing people who are better than me. It's actually an opportunity to learn and not an opportunity to bitch. This isn't on the killer battlegrounds. This is actually like, that's my issue with survivor mains. They can't handle when X is a legitimate threat, which is why I said he is good. But they're so used to beating up new X's that when they see an actual good X, they just think he's sweaty. The killer skill. X. Yeah. I know this might be controversial, but I say X uses the perfect amount of skill to get a singular kill. The reason I say this is because, as I said, X is a good killer. X is an actual good killer. I'm tired of hearing people say X is bad. X is good. You are just bad at him. Probably. I'm not sure if you're good at him and then you're just saying he's bad because you don't like him. I mean, I'm not gonna main X after 0.2. I've already expressed this in like 4 videos now that I'm gonna become a Fleetway main, but that's because I've always been attached to Fleetway. I feel like X presents the perfect amount of skill for a singular kill. Sometimes he might need a little more skill than he needs to get that kill, but that's very rarely. I say if you devote enough time and attention, you can get a kill, and you will get a kill. In conclusion, X isn't weak, he's just underutilized. You guys are just bad at the game. Okay, that's a little mean. I mean, like, he's not bad. You guys are just like whining because he's the only killer, so there's no metric to compare him to. X's only weakness is that he has to like direct, because he's a tunneler. I didn't say that at the start, but X, that's the thing about X. He's a tunneler. That's also another thing I notice about these Jason killers, is that they're tunnelers. That's also why I prefer Fleetwood, because I don't really like tunneling, because I hate having to target creams just because they're creams. It's not fun, to me at least, because it's like, I don't want to target you simply because you're playing a character I don't like. Anyways, yeah. My issue is that because he's a tunneler, he has to focus too much on one singular character to get their kill, which is stupid to me. Now, I'm gonna give a hot take right now. I believe that X should actually get his rage buffed back to 63 damage, and he should get a second rage. If it's his win con, you might as well lean all into it. So the first rage, he will get the rage through stuns, like receiving stuns, and then the second rage will be harder, because the first rage you get for like being bullied, the second rage you get through actual skill. In order to get the second rage, you need to drop 500 damage, which is good in my opinion, because it's like, yeah. Or even better, call me crazy, X could refill his rage bar every time he gets a kill, similar to Guess 666. That way he can stay in his most powerful asset the entire game. Okay, that's a little broken. You can work it out. You can argue about my opinions in the comment section. I don't really care. This is my opinion. Okay, all in all, for conclusion, X relies on rage too much. That's my problem. Anyways, now you can click off if you don't want to see my appreciation slide, which will like kind of be meaning. But yeah, if you don't, but yeah, I'm gonna show off the appreciation slide now. Okay, this is my appreciation slides. This is to appreciate all the people that are supporting me and are giving me their opinions and actually care enough to tell me that. Notice how I said slides this time and not slide, because like, what's the name again? Yeah, they all have actually been like really nice to me, and so yeah, thanks. Okay, so I'm just looking at y'all's usernames now, and this is actually gonna be like hell to read. Okay, so thank you to Only KK Knows. Thank you to MQK3Y. Thank you to Colossus Goes Boom. Thank you to Oshas Scotty 6340. Oh, hold on, wait, that rhymes. Hold on, wait, he was cooking with his username. Okay, thank you to SDMBBB Clash Royale. I've been playing Clash Royale recently. I mean CR. SDMBBBCR. Thank you to Docile17 and Jack Flunked _private. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Thank you to my goat. It's Dripping Out, which is such a funny name, and my other goat, Tono Beef. Thank you. Holy glaze. Next slide. Thank you to Fajini Toskik. Thank you to Epic Funkmain. Thank you to Shakir Delph 9078. Thank you to Local Sword 3985. Why do y'all have so many random numbers in your, what's the name again? In your usernames? It's actually funny to me. Thank you to Just Some Guy with the DJ. What the fuck? Just Some Guy with the DJ set? Hold on, wait. I don't know if you know this guy, but he's low-key my friend. I didn't even notice it until post-editing. I should have put him with Bingus. Anyways, thank you to Mega Mechadrix. Thank you to 3M Videos or Balls. I'd be clapping so much better now if it wasn't for the fact I'm holding my phone to record. Thank you to Amy Rules. He really does rule. And like for my last one, thank you to gotta lock in for this one, Xeno Rock Bell 3023. That wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Oh my god, I need to be slimed now. Thank you to Chippo Mater the Goat. Chippo Mater the Goat, thank you. And thank you to Bingus Tool. Bingus and just the guy with the DJ set. I'm actually gonna touch y'all when I catch y'all in VC. No, yes, that's how I'm gonna end this video. Fuck you too. Fuck you too.